to see Chandler in the UFC. I've been excited for that one for a little while, so really curious to see how and Dan Hooker.
It's a big fight for a first fight in the UFC because it is a different level. It's a different place. And even just the atmosphere and walking around, all these different things can affect your mindset, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's on the biggest stage now in competition for him, and I think going by like every interview I've listened to from Chandler, or I feel like he's let's say definitely experienced enough, and for that I guess mature enough to I think understand the scope of it, and he does sound very composed, and I think you will see. I expect to see a pretty sound fighter on the weekend. I don't think you're going to see someone who's a little bit deer in the headlights. I think he's been there before, and I don't think he'll be overwhelmed. But of course, he's got one of City Kickboxing's finest, Dan Hooker, who's
Yeah.
you can be guaranteed. Anyone fighting out of that gym is going to get better every fight. So you're probably going to see.
And someone who rocked Poirier too. Like
that was a fight. That was amazing. Yeah, that was great. So yeah, I think that's obviously I'm nearly as excited for that fight as the main event.
And our main event, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. What are your thoughts there? Do you have a pick? Are you excited for any particular reason? I mean, there's a million reasons.
Yeah, I know. I think the biggest thing as a fan, especially of these big fights, and I probably speak for a lot of people, is I'm always nervous in the first 60 seconds or even the first round of like you want to see a fight. Like I hate seeing quick finishes, as
Okay.
spectacular as they are. I really want to see I want to see a few rounds and see if the fight kind of swings back and forth, and see if someone picks up momentum. So I like kind of watching that. So I'm scared because I hope that it's not a quick finish. We know McGregor's capable of that, but yeah, I've also expected, or not. I don't know if it's expected, but you see like a more mature version of McGregor now, like a more respectful version, and I'm like waiting for him to just take a jab at Dustin, but it hasn't really come
It
yet.
hasn't
So
happened yet. I loved the images of him arriving at the hotel topless. I thought, yeah, why not? Just rock it, like in these very over the top, I think Versace style pants, completely topless, strolling in. I was like, amazing, so McGregor. Um, it's interesting. I think you're like me when you say you don't like to see quick finishes. I like that whole storyline. Like even my favorite fighters, I want to see them sort of be pushed and struggle a bit and then come back in the second round or something. Like we want a whole story out of this fight, don't we?
yeah, absolutely, and I think because all McGregor fans have seen a minute of him in the last 12 months in the octagon. So I think as well everyone wants to see more of him, and be able to enjoy what he's good at for a little bit longer.
Now, here's a question for you. He's a man who also loves to entertain. Obviously, he's got his game plan that none of us have a clue about, but does he have enough audacity that if he feels he's on top and he sees a couple of finishes, do you think he might let it go in order to give us that extra round, extra entertainment, and give himself more minutes in the octagon?
That's a really good question. I think, I mean, maybe there's a chance of that. Maybe. I was listening to his interview with Ariel this morning actually when I got up, and I think it was maybe the interview with Ariel, but he was saying that he would enjoy a little bit of a war with Dustin. So you never know if he feels like he's on top, but he might drag it out a little bit to be a little bit of a showman. Who knows? You never know with Connor.
And my last question for you is about mindset. I read a beautiful article about you recently talking about your wonderful mindset and your motivation, the way you are with your engineers and your crew. I'm sure I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a beautiful one. If you
Probably not.
haven't, Google yourself because it's a very nice article. And yeah, they just sing your praises for the way that you manage sort of to have a high self-confidence like athletes need to. Ego is a difficult word, but you need to balance that ego in the way of like having a high self-confidence, fancying yourself to win, yet treating everyone really well. And it's something that you're known for doing really well. Obviously, Conor, very well known for a brilliant ego that fancies himself to win and wins strongly as well. How important do you think that is, that self-confidence to win, that ego being strong and bold enough? Because we say ego in a negative way, but it's a very positive thing too.
Yeah, I think it's interpreted, I mean, probably differently to some, but you definitely, I think a lot of the time it's easy to forget the basics, and really that's essentially all it is at the end of the day. It's, can you wake up and stare yourself in the mirror and believe to your core that you are the best, or believe that you have what it takes to be the best, or, on that day of competition, or whenever. So, it's easy to say I'm the best and whatever, but truly to your core, you have to believe that. And it's really as simple as that. And if you don't, then it's find a way to get that out of yourself. But yeah, I love the competition, and I love kind of the intensity of it and all that, but also away from the on track stuff. I think it's so important to build these relationships with the people working around you, and to show respect, and to really make them feel involved and make them want to fight with you, so to speak. That's super important.
Daniel, that's answers a million times better than I expected. I loved it. It gave me goosebumps. May you always wake up in the morning feeling like the best. Thank you so much. It's been great chatting to you.
Very sweet. No worries. We'll enjoy the fights this weekend, everyone.
Yeah, have a good one. Enjoy it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Daniel.
See ya.
Guys, oh my gosh, what a great answer. I knew he'd be some kind of motivational genius. I was absolutely loved it. So the fight will be UFC 257, Poirier versus McGregor will be live on BT Sport for UK and Ireland viewers. It's on the box office version, so make sure you've downloaded that, or you've got it on your TV or your phone. In the build up to that, I have a new show. It's called 5 Reasons Why, and that's on UFC Fight Pass. Obviously, you all need to be on UFC Fight Pass. There's some incredible content there, from movies to a back catalogue of the most incredible fights. So a lot happening. I hope you enjoyed that. I really appreciate it. He's amazing, and he's going to be stood up without a doubt, for adrenaline flowing for the Poirier Conor fight. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do some more guests soon. Have a good night. Bye.